why would you choose to upgrade your factory mirrors to something like this? Well, we do tow the camper trailer, but even without towing the camper trailer, the canopy does stick out a fair bit. And the old farm truck mirrors really don't show, well, certainly a blind spot, but you can't really see behind the car as much. So with these, obviously there's a lot more surface area, so you're going to see more, but this bottom one is a convex mirror, or concave, I can't remember, the one that bulges out. So it will let you see the blind spot a lot easier. The other thing that this does is it pushes out. It'll probably be easier doing it on the car, but when it goes out, obviously when you've got a caravan on or a bigger trailer at the back, you will be able to see down the side of the car a bit more and down the side of the caravan or the trailer, so you can see behind it. It's going to be much safer for towing. And the other thing that I like about this as opposed to the farm truck, when you move this, if somebody bumps it, which happens in my garage all the time, you don't know where it was, so it's especially the passenger one, it's a pain in the arse to get it lined up again. With these, they'll just fold back to exactly where they were. So yeah, that's why you'd want to go for an aftermarket mirror with a lot bigger surface area to view stuff from. So all we're going to need for this installation is a Phillips head screwdriver, which is possibly the least tools we've ever used on an install. And I don't think this is going to take me more than about 10 minutes. When you're doing anything with bodywork and screws and stuff, I would probably recommend not using power tools, because you don't want to strip a thread or damage the bodywork with a big power tool. I think just using hand tools is probably more prudent. Job's done. Let's get the new one on. It should just be 4 bolts. Well, not should just be 4 bolts. It is just 4 bolts. So these are made specifically for the 79, well, for 70 series. I wouldn't just say 79. They're available for all 70 series from 89 up. And my Phillips head's too big. Luckily, just for cases like this, I brought a smaller Phillips head too. It comes with this membrane too to go in behind it to protect the bodywork. Pretty happy with the fit. Hugs the contours as it should. And then it does come with caps, which I presume are where we put the super glue. Because the only thing this hasn't come with is instructions. Right. Going nowhere. Not one. Last piece of the puzzle. All right, let's take this off, and that'll be the driver's side done. So these will pull out. Oh, look at that. I used to have clear views years ago on my Hilux, and I did like them, but these ones are a bit more, I guess, angular and purpose looking. The clear views were good too, but that slides out an awful lot easier. And if somebody bumps it, it just goes in, and look, don't have to stuff around anymore. How good is that? So let's get this passenger side done. I know a fella that has got his eye on these ones. His name is Andy, because his ones are really loose and he can't tighten them up anymore. So I think the old farm truck mirrors will have a new home this weekend. It's one word that I really do struggle saying. Mirror. I've actually been practicing for a wee bit to say the word, because I normally just say mirror, and it sounds stupid, I know. Mirror. And there goes a screw. That's that one off. So that's it, all done. It literally took 10 minutes each side, if that. Super happy with how they conform to the bodywork. They feel solid. I guess the only way to tell now is to go out into the real world and put them to the test. So I do a lot of driving every day on the roads. We're going up to the Glassy the weekend after next, so they'll get real good work out there, put through their paces off-road. And I will take the camper van out and tow it behind and just see what a difference bringing these out makes. So stay tuned for the review. Ooh. Don't they look different? Okay, so I used to have the clear views on the Hilux. Now these are very similar to the clear views, so I'm not by any stretch of the imagination comparing these to clear views, but the Hilux, they sat up here, they created a huge blind spot from the driver's seat. These don't. In the Cruiser you sit a lot higher, it's a different seating position, but first impressions, these aren't in the way at all, and I've got a cracking good view now of everything that's behind me. In here, like in the normal farm truck, the standard mirrors, I couldn't see the barbecue that's sitting just there. I can see it in this bottom one. So yeah, very cool. Keen to get these out onto the road and give them a go. So what we've done, this is the first time I've driven the car. I've actually taken the canopy off because we're going 4Bing tomorrow up the glass house, which is coming up in a later episode. But I've got the spare wheel against the headboard, so I can't see out of the back as well as before. So got the new mirrors on, and just going for a quick test drive just to see how much more we can see. We can see heaps more. The big ones at the top are definitely letting me see a lot of stuff a lot closer. So far, and we haven't got onto the main road yet, but so far it looks like they don't shake nearly as much as the original ones. I mean, they were pretty basic, but they did shake an awful lot. Just when you were driving, you couldn't really see that much out of them. You could see cars and stuff, but you didn't know where they were as good. So we're sitting at about, well, let's get up to speed. This is an 80k road. So there's us about 80k, and there's no shake. That's cool. And I can see in the blind spot, which in a single cab ute, because there's a lot more metal behind, there's no pillar here where the back doors would be, so you can't really see behind you too much. I tended to kind of look backwards a bit, but now the bottom ones will show me the blind spot really nice. That's cool. First impressions, big thumbs up. I'm going to try it out towing. Put the jet skis on the back. These extend out, which will allow us to see hopefully behind it while we're driving, and probably more importantly for something like the jet skis, which are a bit lower, we can see when we're backing up around the corner or into the lane on the boat ramp, we can see where the jet skis are a lot better. So quite excited to give this a go. So what I've noticed, when you do extend them out, you just have to tuck the mirrors back in a little bit because they're just not adjusted right. But that's no biggie. What you can see though, especially the bottom one, the blind spot one, is I can really see exactly where the jet skis are. The top one gives me a good gauge on my distance, but the bottom one definitely shows me a lot of the jet ski, which with the normal mirrors before, I really couldn't see that much of them. I don't have the canopy on at the minute, granted, but I can still see, I mean, I'm not really seeing much of the tray. I'm seeing behind the tray to the jet skis, which is going to make backing up and reversing an awful lot easier. We have just taken the skis for a drive, and look, towing mirrors make such a difference to safety when you're on the road. You can definitely see an awful lot more, and you're much more aware of what's around you. So, and that's probably every towing mirror, but certainly very impressed with the visibility from both the bottom one and the top mirror. They're two definitely different things. The big test, and I'll put the drone up and we'll try and show you visually what I'm talking about, but when these are extended out wide, you can definitely see further behind the car and the trailer. When they're closed up, you can still see a lot, but I probably wouldn't use it towing as much because it won't let you see as far behind. So with the drone shot, hopefully you're looking at it now, you can see the two different, with the mirrors closed, it looks like this. And with them open up, it looks like this. All right, so let's talk about the pros and cons. The pros, definitely more visibility. Absolutely happy with that. They look good on the Cruiser. What I really like is on the old ones, if somebody bumped the mirror on the way past in the garage, it would be a pain in the arse to get it lined up again. These just fold in if somebody bumps it. So if you bump it, you just push it back out again and it's back where it was. Love that. And obviously seeing into the blind spot and seeing behind you. And the biggest pro is of course towing, because I can see past the canopy now. I can see whatever I'm towing on the back with them extended out or without. Heaps of visibility, seeing the blind spot when changing lanes in the city. Just really happy with them, would not go back to the old ones now. There is a few cons, not many. One was they didn't come with instructions. It's 4 bolts. It's not a biggie. There was 2 other bars that came with it. I think these ones are made from when this shape was introduced years and years and years ago in the 80s up until now. So maybe the older ones needed that plate to be put in behind the bodywork to bolt 2 of the bolts into. Don't know. Didn't need them for this. 4 bolts, no instructions, no biggie. Secondly, the adjustment. So I'm 6 foot and I've plenty of room in the cruiser, but this passenger side one is at its full adjustment up. If you're any taller than me, you may struggle just to see out of it. It's not the driver one's fine. You're probably okay, but it's just a little niggle. It's just fine for me and no more. And the last con, which is not really anything to do with these mirrors specifically, but all these type of mirrors, is just getting used to the 4 different points to look at. I found when I first got them reversing, I was looking in the wrong one. I didn't look at the bottom one, or the top one was too close. I've got used to it. Now I love it. First world problems. Overall, big tick, very happy with them, very happy how they look on the cruiser. I think they look really tough. I like the angled shape of them. The chrome highlights, supposed to be indicators on a normal car with electrics in the doors. These don't have any. I think it sets the car off. Really happy.